It's the Weekly Wrap with your host, broadcasting legend Bruce Wolf, and his trusty sidekick, comedian Tim Slagle. And now, without further ado, Bruce Wolf.
This is Tim Slagle on a very special edition of the Weekly Wrap. We're going over conspiracies, and with me today is a noted conspiracy expert, the pilot of the mothership himself. Please welcome Dobie Maxwell.
As my radio cohort said upon hiring for that radio job, we need somebody stable enough to show up every week and crazy enough to make it interesting. So that was me. I think he meant it in a customer-friendly sort of way. So thanks for having me, as always.
Well, we're going to start this off with an actual news item. Apparently, the United States Postal Service will not deliver ballots from states that refuse to fork over their mail-in voter info. And basically what the idea is here is they don't want another 2020 election, where where senile diaper-clad grandpa got 81 million votes.
You don't want the interesting part of it. It's the WWE of the government. Oh, no, we'll be honest. Everything else you need a license for, you need ID, you need fingerprints, but voting, who's going to run the world? No, we'll trust you.
Well, this is actually interesting to me because this is exactly how I think 2020 was stolen. And I think there were just so many ballots floating around. Undelivered, because they were addresses that no longer exist, fake addresses, dead people. They were just stacked up in the post office, and I think some ne'er-do-wells were more than happy to pay like $20 a ballot. So,
I think what happened, just like the AOL discs used to be everywhere, they should have combined them with the Publishers Clearinghouse. You may have already won $10 million. Here's a ballot and an AOL disc.
Do you send in Publishers Clearinghouse?
Every single one. Someone's got to win. It might as well be me or R. Brumbelow from Indiana, the state you live in. I don't know who R. Brumbelow is, but he's on every ballot. I don't know what ethnicity that is or what the R stands for, but that seems to always be that. It's like the New Jersey Generals. They always play the Globetrotters.
So what do you think, Dobie? 2020 election, real or fixed?
I think several elections were fixed. This is someone coming from a pro wrestling background, so there's a permanent asterisk to everything I say. But I do think it's fixed. I mean, it used to be America. You go and you make your ballot. It's like, no, we're just sheep. They want to get in who they want to get in. I do think it was fixed. I got arguments with a lot of people who say, you think what you want. I'm a cynic. I think it was fixed. What about you?
No, it wasn't fixed. It was choreographed.
Okay.
Isn't that the pro wrestling excuse?
Yeah, exactly. The ballet, it's choreographed too. The fat lady's going to sing at the end. It was choreographed. Yeah, I think it was.
No, I actually think, it was just amazing. It just, when they stopped count, I'm like, for me, it's like elections are like the Super Bowl. I sit there, my face in the TV till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, watching the ballots come in, saying, oh, lost New Jersey. Oh yeah, but we won South Dakota. And just like that, I watch the little chyron going on the bottom. I watch every state. I watch every election. And this was the first time in all the years of presidential elections that they just stopped. About 2 o'clock in the morning, they stopped. They didn't say why. They
stopped coverage.
Stopped counting. The coverage kept going, but the numbers stayed the same. They just all. And then then we hear in Atlanta there was a water main leak that they could never find. In Detroit, they were putting pizza boxes over the windows and would not let election judges come in because of COVID, of course.
Sure.
And then meanwhile, some white vans showed up with cases that originally they said was food. And it's like, well, no, you just had pizza. Oh, well, no, it's media equipment. Well, where's the tripod? Oh, okay, it's ballots. We forgot about the ballot box at the corner of Livernois and 8 Mile.
But they were all Biden and nobody else, and all unanimous. It's like Saddam Hussein won the Iraqi presidency unanimously. Right.
Yeah, and it was just at the top of the ballot too.
Right, just the top of the ballot. Yes.
Nothing else was filled out. It's just
Dog catcher, nope, up for grabs. President, that we got.
I've never voted for a dog catcher.
I haven't either. I like to run unopposed. Dog catcher of yeah.
That's a standard. That looks like Rahm Emanuel in the picture, by the way.
Certainly does.
Doesn't it? Look at the
Yeah.
It's and the running joke here is why Rahm Emanuel wanted to be ambassador to Japan. Do you know why?
No, I don't, Tim. Tell me.
Wanted to feel tall.
That's good comedy right there.
And thank God he still got the finger to give to me.
Well, you know, okay. Now, you and I have been in the entertainment game for quite some years, and we talk off camera, off stage, many times about how corrupt it is and political it is and insane that it is. Picture that times a million, and that's what this power base is. They are sick, twisted, dented people that want power by any means necessary. So, yes, and I think, obviously, there are parties on both sides that try to fix it.
Yep.
It's always been that way.
Yep.
Because there are extremists on both sides.
Yep, which is why no one wants a change. And the mail-in balloting, I mean, that came in and people went, "Wow,
yeah,
are you gonna make it that easy?
Are you gonna be that stupid?" Yes, they are. Say the Pledge of Allegiance in third grade, try to brainwash you into trusting your government.
Anyway, what we're gonna do now? We got a real fun thing coming up. Wait, no, there's another story here that I want to cover. If you heard about this, is there are mutant sewer rats spreading through major U.S. cities. That is a real news story.
I thought that was a band that played at Lollapalooza, the Mutant Sewer Rats. They opened for Pearl Jam one year. It's a great name, isn't it? Isn't it a great movie? It sounds like a horror movie title.
Yeah, apparently rats have developed an immunity to poison. They kind of now like it.
As our friend comedian Steve Seagren always said, he goes, "Yeah, the rats use it as seasoning on their pizza." Poison.
Yeah, but it actually is true now. It does not bother them. I don't know if you know Lou Angelwolf. He just had
yes.
Yeah, he just had an open bar special clip that went viral. And I'll give away the joke. It's about three rats talking. First one goes, "Hey, you think you're tough? Watch me." And he snorts a whole line of rat poison. And the other one goes, "That's no big deal. Watch this." And he goes to a rat trap and he grabs the bar and starts doing bench presses with the bar on a rat trap. And the third one goes, "This is stupid. I'm taking off." They go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going upstairs to nail the cat."
Thank you, Lou Angelwolf. That was a good joke.
But anyway, this is what else have you heard? I mean, there's always been stories about stuff in the sewers. I think that's a pretty big conspiracy.
I think it's kind of Ed Norton goes to the dark side. You picture he's always down there with his friends, and they make it sound so funny. And it's just underground tunnels, and just I think people get a couple of cocktails in them, and legends start, and conspiracies start. Yes, the mafia is down there, monsters are down there, giant rats and alligators are down there. What have you heard?
The alligators in the sewers. That was the one that always. Oh, then of course always the snakes.
Comes up through the toilet.
The snakes
and alligators come up through the toilet and bite you on the private parts.
Well, apparently, yeah, the alligators have gotten so big they can't get up through the toilet anymore. They're actually full because it's warm year round, and there's always people flushing goldfish and stuff down their toilets, so they have plenty to eat down there.
Constant food supply.
And yeah, I think Stephen King did something about mutant rats. Is that way deep in the sewers in a forgotten chamber there were like 6-foot rats.
Okay.
Anyway, what we're going to do as we go further in the next segments, we've got the top 10 conspiracies of all time, and we're gonna count them down, and Dobie and I are gonna decide which ones we think are real and which ones we think are hokum. And I think we have time. I think we have time for a number 10 in this segment. Number 10. the Sandy Hook shooting was staged. There's
That's
actually
a big one.
belief.
It took Alex Jones down.
Oh yeah, he lost his empire over that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wonder what made him think that.
well, apparently there was a picture of somebody at Sandy Hook, and then he was at a guy that looked just like him in another shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And he went off on that was that they're staging shootings around the country to try to get gun control implemented.
Now, I have seen videos on that too, and I wish I would have cataloged them and I'd show them to you both. But it's the same thing. They're just actors and actresses, and they show them calm, and then the shooting happens, and there's a wide shot, and then they start a panic scene. Looks pretty real if it isn't. I don't know how they can stage a staged shooting, but made me think twice and watch it a few times.
So what do you think? You think Sandy Hook staged? Not staged. I say it was not staged.
To be honest with you, I haven't. It was so depressing when I first heard about it. I didn't want to dig into it. I don't think it was staged, but I don't know.
Exactly.
Sometimes they'll touch you on the heart. That's exactly where they would stage something and say, "Oh, that can't be staged." So you don't even look into it. It's so depressing.
Yeah, exactly. I think the parents actually lost children.
Yeah.
Whether or not the shooter was put up to it, I mean, I guess that's open to conspiracy. But yeah, and if somebody did stage it, there is a very special place in hell waiting for that guy, and
Right next to the Kardashians.
my opinion has absolutely nothing to do with that. We're gonna be covering this conspiracy and more as we're counting down the top 10 conspiracies of all time with Tim Slagle, Dobie Maxwell on the Weekly Wrap. Tim Slagle, Dobie Maxwell on a very special edition of the Weekly Wrap. We are counting down the top 10 conspiracies of all time. It's I've often been accused of wearing the tinfoil, and so now we'll see how much tinfoil, how thick that hat is on me.
This is kind of Casey Kasem in a black helicopter, isn't it? The top 10. This one goes down to.
Hey, we have a special request going out.
For time traveler.
My dog is still alive. We're at number 9 right now. Mm-hmm. And this is a good one. The aliens built the pyramids. What do you think? Is there the assertion that extraterrestrial beings were responsible for the construction of the Egyptian pyramids posits that humans of all time did not possess the knowledge or tools necessary for such feats of engineering?
I would give that one the green light, the thumbs up, only because if you study it a little bit, I did some shows on the Mothership Connection radio show about experts and the mathematical dimensions that all of the pyramids have in the Great Pyramid. It's within like 1/97th of a millionth of a percent. And I don't think humans now could do that in the Union or not. And back then they certainly couldn't. So that one I would give a thumbs up to.
Well, it would take a century just to get the permits cleared, I think.
That is absolutely true. And I don't know if you knew this. There are 2 pyramids actually in the bottom of a lake in Wisconsin between Milwaukee and Madison. And I had the guy on the show, and he was talking about how there are those under this lake, and they've been in there for hundreds of years. And they're also burying Indian burial mounds. And I don't know if you knew this, they make a shape of an animal on the burial mounds. And there was, I think, a zebra and a giraffe and a lion. And those are animals that were not indigenous to Wisconsin, and they're hundreds of years old. And the guy was the most fascinating guest I ever had. And he had a 2 first name, like Mike Michaels and Joe Joseph or something like that. And I wanted to have him back on. And my station manager called in and said, "You can't have him on anymore." Why is that? Because he's a documented Nazi, and he changed his name and wrote these books. We can't have him on because his real history came out. So the best guest I ever had, who was fascinating, didn't talk about anything on that side of it, but I couldn't have him back on. But a great guest. So that one I say is
you couldn't say, you know what, with your attitude, we would have never made the moon. Okay. sometimes you gotta forgive a Nazi.
Forgive and forget. Yeah, that was there's all kinds of stuff. So that was pretty much your one-stop conspiracy shop. That guy.
It's I don't know. I'm amazed at the engineering feats of ancient civilizations, and I've often thought that maybe there were extraterrestrials, or maybe there was a civilization that was greater than we imagined, that was greater than ours, that
Absolutely.
existed.
I'll
Um,
tell you, I'll tell you what wasn't that really makes me think that they were intelligent. No roundabouts. Those are the stupidest things ever. The modern man, they're everywhere. I was just in Carmel, Indiana, and they pridefully boast they are the roundabout capital of the world, the most
huh,
roundabouts of any city on earth.
huh.
So there were no roundabouts in ancient Egypt. So I'm moving there. Couldn't put a chariot in one of those. Can you imagine the horses would be hitting each other head on? So,
It's the obelisks. I never really paid much attention to the obelisks.
mhm.
The dated those are they look like the Washington Monument, but they're all
Correct.
carved out of stone, one piece of stone, and
Hmm.
they're almost as big. And there was one that Cleopatra, I just found this out, gave to Mark Antony,
Hmm.
and he accepted it, but had no ability to transport it to Rome. It took another 200 years before Romans were able to build a ship big enough to transport Cleopatra's gift from Mark Antony to Rome. And then it took like a team of elephants to drag it from inland into it. Just amazing. So, how did the Egyptians carve this thing? It's I think it's two thumbs up on that one.
With the Ronco home obelisk-o-matic. It slices, it dices. Boy, does it catch fish. I mean,
Number eight.
those things, seriously, back then, the plumbing systems of ancient Rome, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but there were a lot of things. You think that these people, named Orc and Ook, hitting each other with clubs and staying in caves. I think there were a lot of civilizations like ours that slowly crumbles and goes back into the dirt, and a new one arises, and it's nothing new.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Somebody posted as one of my favorite memes on Facebook. It was a picture of the inside of a grand cathedral, and it was just a beautiful Gothic cathedral, and it says, "This is proof that we are savages inhabiting the ruins of a superior civilization."
Wow, that's cool.
Number eight. Speaking of fishing, the Loch Ness monster.
Hmm. What's your opinion on that one? That one I gotta give a little wink to that one. That's BS in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. I always wanted to believe it because there's something kind of neat about thinking that there's like a dinosaur that managed to survive under the lake or loch. It's not a lake, it's like a bay, like a narrow bay.
Sure.
And there's something terribly romantic about it, but yeah, my mom's lake has a 10-foot catfish fish
Really?
supposedly.
No
Yeah.
one's caught it yet?
No one's caught it. Apparently, my sister saw it while she was snorkeling like 20 years ago, and they never found it washed ashore. So it's still down there.
There's a big
Just
litter box at the bottom of the lake.
and I
Bottom
I
of the...
love to tell the kids about it when they go swimming because the
Man, you're
idea.
the weird uncle. Yikes. One of the first jokes I ever wrote, which I thought it was funny at the time, it says, "Yeah, my dating life, I always picture getting Heather Locklear, and instead I get Heather Loch Ness."
We're
So
gonna.
back in the days, it was those kind of, and that was hot. What would you guess? Was that the 70s, early 80s, maybe? Because I know all the shows
What?
like Leonard Nimoy, what's the one,
Oh,
In
the
Search of?
first.
The first Loch Ness Monster. I heard about it probably in the 70s, but
I
when
think it
did they
was the
see it?
60s. I think it was the
60s? Okay.
60s. Some guy made a plastic dinosaur and floated it in the lake, and then did like a blurry picture of it and sent it to the newspaper.
Hmm.
I think that's when it actually became it started getting big. And then and somebody pointed out that now that everybody's got a camera on their phone,
Hmm.
you don't hear much about UFOs and
You
Loch
sure don't
Ness
see one.
monsters and Sasquatch. When you had to wait a week for the to get it back from Kodak.
The photomat.
Yeah, the photos seemed proof of something.
Hmm.
But
I think people want to believe. You want to believe there's something else, don't you? As a kid, I wanted to see a
yeah,
UFO.
I want to see a dinosaur too. Yeah.
Sure.
Number
Well, you're
seven.
looking at one on your
Yeah, you're
right
looking
here.
at if you're
Me,
watching this on YouTube, you're looking at two right
two
now.
dinosaurs. Yes, sir, you are.
Number seven, and this one's going to take us all the way to the end of the segment at least.
Hmm.
I think is the global warming hoax. Now, the way the top 10 list describes it is not like you think. It's I'm pretty sure global warming is a hoax. No, it's the anti-hoax hoax. Is that apparently they're claiming it's a hoax that people do not believe in climate change.
Really?
So yeah.
Now, I don't know, but I'm of certain vintage. We are pretty close in age. And you grew up in Michigan. You went to Michigan public schools.
Yep.
I went to Wisconsin public schools. I remember in junior high, what they were preaching global cooling. It was going to freeze together. We were all going to be popsicles.
Yep.
And that was about a year or two, and then it kind of cooled off. And then years later, the global warming said, they didn't buy the cooling thing. Let's turn it and see if we can sell it. I didn't believe it then. The cooling
I'm
one.
so old, and I don't know if it was because I was in Catholic school or
Mhm.
And they didn't refresh their textbooks,
Right.
or if it was taught this way universally. But we were taught that there was no such thing as tectonic plates. That it was just a coincidence that all the continents looked like puzzle pieces that would fit together.
It was okay. Now I saw that at age 8.
Right,
Hey, that looks like
but
a puzzle.
they said don't be fooled. They don't really fit. It has nothing to do. It's
Just a
totally
complete coincidence.
complete coincidence. And then 10, 20 years later, well, okay, yeah. Yeah, they are. They do fit. They did fit
But
together.
okay, riddle me this, Batman. How come all the continents have different plants and animals? That was the thing that threw the monkey wrench in it for me. Because if it was one big thing, wouldn't we all be the same color and all the same animal species? And we're not.
Right. Wouldn't there be pyramids at the bottom of a lake in Wisconsin?
Well, now, wait a minute. There are a lot of pyramids other places besides that, too.
I know.
They're all
I'm
over
just-
the place. Pyramids are all over the place.
I'm just doing a fun little callback there.
Oh, I got you.
I believe in here's the thing. I believe in climate change because
Okay.
it does appear that there is a warming trend, and I believe that. I mean, that's part of the record. Is it man-made? I don't know. Can we really change the weather?
Don't you think that's a little bit egotistical to think that we can? I think the earth is a dog that shakes us. We're fleas. She'll just shake the fleas off, and the next species of
Exactly.
Did we change the weather though, Tim? Because when I was a kid, I remember the biggest threat was acid rain, and I have not heard about acid rain in 30 years.
It was a Prince song, wasn't it?
That's another acid rain, acid rain. They opened up for the big swamp rats. What was that name?
But it's they forgot. Yeah, it's all the sulfur dioxide going in the air. It's but they say, since we stopped burning coal, the acid rain is no longer a threat. Since we stopped air conditioning, HVAC talk, since we stopped using Freon, the ozone hole has been repaired. So that's why they're not threats anymore. Not like they ever were threats in the first place.
When you treat a planet like a rental car, you expect bad things to happen, don't you? The slightest little thing. Think about your body. The slightest little thing goes wrong, and it's a bitch for everything else. And I think the same thing with the earth. Clean it up a little bit. You break it, fix it. You spill it, clean it up.
Yeah.
Did Valdez, does that still affect fish? There's got to be still some fish with an oily coating.
Well,
all these years later.
It sold a lot of Dawn, I guarantee that. They're still dipping ducks in oil so they can wash them off for the commercials.
You duck dipper. Scrub that mallard.
Anyway, we got lots more conspiracies coming at you, so stick around with a very special edition of the Weekly Wrap with Tim Slagle, Dobie Maxwell. Tim Slagle here on the Weekly Wrap with Dobie Maxwell, and we're running down the top 10 conspiracies of all time. It's a TIMFOIL special here on the Weekly Wrap.
How do we know this isn't a conspiracy?
It could be.
Number 11 on the list.
It very well could be. We're down to number 6, and I know you got a lot to say about this one, sir. Area 51.
Absolutely right. I drove past Area 51. Have you been anywhere close in your existence?
I may have.
You'll know. I lived in Reno, and Vegas is about 500 miles away. People think, oh, Reno is like Chicago, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, New York, 90 miles. Nope. Across the world. So I drove past.
Like Chicago, Kansas City.
On a good day, yes, that's exactly what it is. But so you're driving through Nevada, and I'm thinking, okay, Area 51, it's kind of cool. So I got out of my car, went up to the fence, 2 Jeeps, not one, 2 Jeeps pulled in and said, "Leave, please." I left. Very intimidating. Within 30 seconds.
Wow.
I wanted to see if I could look in there, see anything, see anybody. Yeah, that was very, very spooky.
You saw 2 Jeeps.
2 Jeeps.
And well, it is
They
still
were hovering Jeeps, though, from Uranus, from Pluto. No, but they were just very serious people with no.
You got a Jeep in Uranus?
Yes, I do. If you find my keys, we can drive out of here. It was not a funny, light, warm feeling. Just get out. Yes, sir. I will get out, and I did.
Wow.
So I'm sure my license plate is on the registry for life now.
Well, yeah, I mean, they probably saw you coming in. They
Mm-hmm. I just don't know why it was that close to the road. As I recall, it wasn't like right on the road. Like,
so was it marked Area 51, keep out?
well, I had talked to some people. I knew some people, and they said this is where it is. It's a huge, it's fenced off, electrified prison.
It's an Air Force base, right? It's a full Air Force base.
Mm-hmm. But I think there are parts that are kind of. It's not Air Force. It's well, yeah, it's huge. Is my point. It's not like a little strip mall. Oh, Area 51, the aliens are here. Baskin and Robbins is next to that, and then we have Bed Bath and Beyond, way beyond.
Huh. Now this is interesting. I'm reading here suspicions surrounding the U.S. Air Force facility located in Nevada. That's Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Proposes that the site houses alien life forms and technology. The theory traces back its roots back to a reported UFO incident in Roswell, New Mexico. Now, this is news to me. I guess I'm not up on my conspiracies. I thought Area 51 was Roswell.
No. That Roswell, obviously New Mexico. Roswell was where the alleged craft crashed.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a guy you ever want to talk to, his name is Don Schmidt. He is the authority on Roswell. Very good friend, really great guy, knows his stuff. There's a guy named J. Allen Hynek. Does that name ring a bell?
Are they
He was
Nazis?
at the university. Pardon me?
Are they Nazis?
Not Nazis. No. These are church-going good folk. The kind you'd leave your babies and your pets with. No Nazis here. But Don studied under J. Allen Hynek, was like the guru from the University of Chicago way back when. So he goes to Roswell and speaks every year. Read his books. It'll catch you up on it. Mac Brazel. Oh, there's like a cast of characters that were people in the town, and there was an alleged substance that would, like mercury, it would shape shift. And they were odd.
And then turn into robots like in the Terminator?
Robots. Yes, so that's where those toys came from. No, it's actually like a substance, allegedly the inside of potato chip bags, that kind of tin foil that you can crumple it up and then it uncrumples. That was based on, that's alien technology right there.
Huh.
Allegedly, supposedly, tin foil Hattie, and that's literal tin foil. So, yeah, I do believe it because I know Don personally, and he's a wonderful guy, and it's not BS. Huh. And all the witnesses are dead now, and the government squelched it. Allegedly, the real aliens are not at Area 51; they're in a place in Ohio.
The corpses?
Yeah, there are alleged corpses.
Are there still? So they're still living aliens.
Well, I don't know about that. What always fascinated me was they come here from Zeta Reticuli, and then they go out and crash, 5 minutes after getting here. It's like, how do you use a clutch on a UFO? I don't know what it is, but they're dead.
Couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I flew past a girl in a bikini.
Yeah.
wasn't looking.
I tried to beep the horn and I ended up crashing. I took it down. Yeah, it's very, very fascinating stuff. And I went into that show, and I think you and Bruce and Chris and everybody, you try to be a rational person. I just say keep my mind open. The only acceptable answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's BS,
Roswell is the place where everyone gathers and they wear goofy costumes, and
there's an actual museum there, which I highly recommend seeing if ever in the area. It's not near anything. So, hey, I'm driving by Roswell. I got a gig somewhere, or I have to go visit. It's you got to make a plan to get there. It's way out of the way, but see the museum when you're there.
So Area 51, there is none of that. There's no dressing up like aliens. There's no souvenir stores. There's
no. That's a legitimate. That's why I wanted to see something that I could see. Now that's a government place. That is not for touristy. That's a .gov. That's not a .com.
So what is going on at Area 51? We don't know.
We don't know. Allegedly, they are testing craft. Now, I had a radio job in Reno, Nevada. That's a long way away, as I said. There's a place called Fallon Air Force Base. That's about, I don't know, outside of Reno, 40, 50 miles. And they would call the radio stations and they would say, "We're flying tonight." That meant they have these new, undocumented spacecraft, and people would call in UFOs all the time. So if the calls came in, we knew that they said they were flying. So it's not UFO, it's the government flying.
Wow.
And they weren't on good humor either. Because I was the morning show, so they'd call, sometimes 3, 4 in the morning, and I'd be getting ready for their radio show. "Yeah, it's the ride, we're flying tonight." "Well, what do you?" And I would say something smart, and they didn't want to hear it. Nothing.
Wow.
No jokes. They're not joking people.
I got a story. It's kind of a UFO story.
Okay.
Is a buddy and I, is we're down in Cocoa Beach by Patrick Air Force Base there.
Okay.
Cape Canaveral, and it was Halloween, and we imbibed, and let's just say we had imbibed, and we're walking along the beach, and all of a sudden we see these lights come up over the horizon. Now I've got U.S. flag shorts and an Uncle Sam hat on. My buddy,
as you want to do.
My buddy, he's dressed like a cheerleader, full thing, pigtails and pom poms, short skirt.
Wow.
And so, because it's Halloween, and so we're walking along, and we see these flashing lights in the distance, and my buddy runs out into the surf and goes, take me," kind of as a joke. And the lights come up directly over him.
Wow.
And a spotlight comes on and made no noise whatsoever. And 2 seconds after the spotlight comes on, it goes off and it disappears over the horizon. And he turns around, he goes, "Tell me I'm not hallucinating." I go, "Oh no." "Oh no, I saw it.
I don't know what you're talking about."
I saw it. And what we realized the next day when we had come back to rationality, it was probably an experimental helicopter made for amphibious assaults, made to come up quietly. It was an experimental helicopter, essentially 2 pilots out on a test mission. All of a sudden says, "Hey, there's a hot cheerleader in the surf. Let's go check it out."
Then they saw the stubble
Turn
in
on
the Adam's
spotlight. That's a dude, man. It's like, "You tell anyone I did that, you're dead."
They got it on the space radar too. They showed it at the Christmas party. "Yeah, Kenny almost wanted to go after this chick." Well, that's the thing. I mean, they can't really tell the public. That's where they would have those kind of craft. And don't you think the internet was invented how many years before we got it?
Sure.
So I'm sure.
So I think thumbs down on Roswell Area 51, thumbs up from Dobie. I think it's, like I said, I think it's just experimental Air Force craft. That's the long and short of it.
I can't, your logic is not flawed. I can't argue with you. I just think, from knowing Don the way I do, and he believes it, and he's told me some stuff through the years, and we shall see.
Number 5 on the countdown of top 10 conspiracy theories of all time, the New World Order. The concept of a secretive and all-powerful group planning to institute a tyrannical global regime is a common conspiracy theory.
Anyone that's gone through high school knows the in crowd. That's just a steroid pumped up version of that. The cool kids, or people that think they're cool kids, who have daddy's money through the generations, have ruled the world. It's all for them, nothing for us. The 80-20 rule is that 80% of the wealth goes to them, and we have to fight for the tidbits that are left. Yeah, I believe that. I can't believe that we let them. There's so many more of us that we let them get away with it. But
well, yeah, I disagree that they're the cool kids, though, Dobie. I think
maybe the insecure nerds. I don't know.
Well, they might have been the cool kids at the prep school, because they had the money and they had the yacht that daddy would let them have parties on from time to time. So yeah, at the prep school, they were probably the cool kids. I grew up in a factory town, and my cool kids could whip the hell out of their.
That's
cool
my point.
kids.
Okay, that's a good point. Maybe it's kind of like Spalding from Caddyshack. they're all Spaldings, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Gates, nerdy weenie kid. I can buy your dad, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But I do think they plan big, and I mean they want 500 million on a planet of 8 billion. Well, I'm not no math whiz, but that's someone's going to have to go down for the team. So how are you going to
Right.
get rid of 7.5 billion people? I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
they're working on, I think.
You think so? You think it's that serious?
Yeah, and I think they have bunkers, and they're ready to go underground for 100 years and eat tuna till the world is scorched, and they come back out and they own Beverly Hills and everything else. Fun.
Not implausible. We got a lot more conspiracies coming up in the next segment. Stay tuned on the top 10 conspiracy countdown with Tim Slagle, Dobie Maxwell on the weekly wrap. It's Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap with special guest Dobie Maxwell doing the top 10 conspiracy countdown. It's TIMFOIL time. It's we got a few more left here. Number four. It's very similar to the New World Order, the Illuminati. But the difference between the Illuminati and the New World Order is the Illuminati goes like way back to the Knights Templar. It's I think it's like the Shriners and the which, when I realized that Shriners were the high level of the Masons,
Mhm.
that they were the guys with the fezzes driving the little go-karts and the parades,
Sure.
I was no longer afraid of the Illuminati. They're gonna rule. They're gonna rule the liquor cabinet. That's about it.
Fat guys in fezzes at the strip joint for 500, Alex.
So what do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down on the Illuminati?
Well, I guess I confused the New World Order for the Illuminati, kind of one and the same. Maybe yeah, there's some version of jerks in power. I'll put it that way. So yes, thumb, neutral thumb, but yes, up.
That's so we got to run through these pretty quick. We only got a few more left. Here's the big one, number 3, the JFK assassination.
I was at Dealey Plaza 3 times. I looked at it. Could a shot be done? Yes. Do I think it was Lee Harvey Oswald? No. Funniest thing I saw at the gift shop, they're selling shot glasses. And the 18-year-old girl did not see the irony in that. That's all I've got to say about the Kennedy assassination.
I think they turned the book depository into a museum. I think
Yeah, it is. I'm saying you're at the next one, not the one that allegedly it was, but you could be at the next one next to it.
Yeah.
It's like it shrinks. It's what you picture in your head. In my head was huge. And I saw it's like, yeah, they could have shot from here. Sure.
I think, I think that's what they should have actually at the museum. You know how they have interactive displays at museums for the kids.
Sure.
They should have like an arcade game. Can you make the shot?
Like whack-a-mole. Can you whack a president?
Have
A governor?
Have
Yeah.
the video from the Zapruder film going by, and you get 3 shots.
Well, I like your theory about, you said it was the guy, the Barney Fife.
Yeah. Mine's the oops
You told me
theory.
this. I loved it.
Yeah, but the oops theory is that the Secret Service agent running along behind the limousine hears the shots, reaches for his gun. The gun goes off through the president's head, ricochets through the convertible, and it kills Conyer. And yes, there was a conspiracy to cover it up because they want to protect the guy and his family.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
anyone could have done that.
You told me that, and I just, boy, that clicks. That makes sense.
Yep. Well, we can move on.
We can move on.
We can move on because we got the top 2 coming up right here.
All right.
Number 2, the moon landing was faked.
I got to say thumbs up on that. You look back. Are you familiar with the Coke can theory?
I am not.
I know we got short on time. In a nutshell, the Houston paper had a picture of the moon landing, and it was a soundstage allegedly, and there was a Coke can from one of the crew in the bottom corner that they cropped out in the second edition, but some of the early editions of the Houston Chronicle, I believe it was, had that in there, and that was out for decades.
Wow. So you think the entire thing was just
there's the angles, who took a lot of things there. Yeah, I do think that was fake, and it was not a space race; it was an arms race. If we could convince Russia that we were there and they weren't, then they would, that's what it was.
They would stop.
They think we have the technology. And so I do think it was fake. Yes.
The best explanation I've heard for this is that they got Stanley Kubrick in to do the special
Yeah,
effects.
exactly. They did.
But Stanley Kubrick is so pedantic, is that he insisted it be shot on location.
Now that's good comedy right there, buddy.
How
do you get the crew up there? How do you feed them? Green cheese.
I know I've got a buddy that's he's also a flat earther, and I love to talk to him because it's really fun to hear, you know, the flat Earth conspiracy from someone who truly believes it. And
that one I have a hard time with. I don't. That one,
me too. And I still don't know if he's a flat earther just because he likes to argue, or if he truly believes it. But his I asked him once. I go, well, where's the end of the Earth? And he goes, Antarctica. It stops. It stops. Nobody goes further than the outside mountains of Antarctica. That's the rim of the Earth. And I went, oh.
So you just fall off.
If you go past, if you climbed the mountains and tried to find the South Pole, which
note to self: next time in Antarctica, don't climb the mountains.
Exactly. The cruises only go so far.
Yeah.
So I as far as the moon landing, no, I can't believe. Well, maybe, you know, because you don't tell. We've got 200 people in Houston control.
They didn't tell them.
Sitting there behind no, they didn't. They said, yeah, don't tell them. Tell them we think we're really doing it. And I maybe it was somewhat fake, but I think we made it. We made it to the moon. It's not really that big of a deal. I mean,
right, but we didn't go back. You know, if we went there, do you think there would be an amusement park, Six Flags over the moon?
We didn't go back because it was a huge expense. There was you know, we spent like $100 billion to bring back 6 rocks. That to me indicates that it was an actual government program.
Surprised they didn't send a USPS. They'd still be out there somewhere.
Well, yeah, 12 years to get 3 people to the moon in the back. It sounds like Amtrak.
But they did have a meal.
I think they had Tang. So
good. Hey,
what more do you need? You got a little bit of Tang.
I could use some Tang at the moment. So
I think the reason why we stopped going is just low ratings. It's like, you know, once they started shooting the golf balls, what else was there to see? You know?
Yeah, the car didn't go really fast. The moon rover.
Yeah, it didn't go fast. Didn't go far.
No chicks.
No place to. You can't go far because they haven't put the charging station. Tesla has not built the charging stations there yet.
That is true.
It's but no, I've always thought the only way that that we're ever gonna go back is for tourism. And I think that's what Elon Musk is trying to do.
It's gonna be the new Vegas. There'll be a casino on the moon.
Oh man, can you imagine? Well, you can be anything because there's no. I mean, you declare. Elon gets there. He declares ownership of the whole thing. You know, and there's no laws here. It's you can grow opium. You can have banking industry.
Well, that's another whole conspiracy. I know we don't have time today, but the moon was not there, and then it was there. That allegedly it's a hollow spacecraft to watch us. Did you ever hear that one? Deep. That could be a whole show in itself.
Wow.
And I didn't know any of these things until I started hosting the show, and I just let these people talk, and it's like, wow, I never would have. If that's made up, it's great fiction.
Well, it does kind of look like the Death Star, especially on the back side. When they went on the back side, it looked like it actually had that radar dish back there.
Yeah,
there's that crater that looks like a radar dish. I don't know if there's an exhaust vent, which you know, you think after 2 bungles that they'd stop putting exhaust vents in Death Stars, but
you would think. And the thing is too, on the dark side of the moon, there's a Mount Rushmore of Pink Floyd, all of them. So, is there 4 of them? Roger Waters, David Gilmour. Who were the other ones? Sid Barrett was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't
know the other ones.
He wasn't there for the dark side. He was gone by the dark.
He was
side
gone.
Of the moon time.
Yeah.
He was. The wall that was dedicated to Sid. Did you know that? It was
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was actually based on his slide into insanity.
Okay. That's happy music.
Well, if I had looked at number one, the number one conspiracy of all time, if I had looked at this,
Mhm.
I might have I might have looked up something else and pretended it was number one because I either see nothing funny here. 9/11 was an inside job.
Describe inside job.
Well, the belief that the tragic events of September 11th were not the result of terrorist actions, but rather a government-coordinated event for geopolitical gain is a prevalent conspiracy
I got to
theory.
say yes.
Really?
I have a cousin who was in carpentry, and he called me an hour after it happened. I was in Reno, Nevada. I'm sorry, Salt Lake City. I lost my job out there. Had no job. Then the world blows up. My cousin calls from Milwaukee an hour later and said, "That is there's something wrong there. The way they were, it's a controlled demolition." He said that there's something fishy there. It wouldn't go down like that. And he's held that conspiracy. I trust him. So yeah, I do think they had a lot of reason to do that. And again, if they really wanted to start bombing places, wouldn't you just drop some bombs randomly around the country and have everybody in a panic? That was it. And it was a lot of I don't know, call it proof, evidence, theory, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, is the bin Laden family was big in construction.
Mhm.
So they knew how to demolish a building. It was, people think, well, they just randomly flew the planes into the building. No, they knew what level they had to fly those planes into the building. They knew that those planes had to be completely filled with jet fuel, that it had to be done on takeoff, and they knew what level to hit those buildings to make the steel fail and make them come down. So I mean, that knowledge they had. Would they use bombs? Sure, but how do you get the bombs? How do you get, after Oklahoma City, it was you couldn't even get ammonium nitrate anymore without the FBI being on your butt. They were able to get those two bombs that took those buildings down, well, 4 bombs actually, with box cutters. That's all they needed was a box cutter. And I still refer to when I'm looking for a box cutter, I refer to it as a 747 key.
Wow. I mean, it's tragic. I don't know what happened. It's hideous. It's horrible. We'll never know. And I guess we just have to move on. But it's sad. So many people lost their lives. But it wasn't as many people as could have lost their lives that day.
And on that note,
it's September
that wraps
12th.
it up. The top 10 conspiracies of all time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming in. Dobie Maxwell, Tim Slagle here on The Weekly Wrap.
And that's The Weekly Wrap on radio and television. Follow Bruce at Bruce Wolf Shy on Twitter and Tim at timslagle.com. The Weekly Wrap with Bruce Wolf, a CP Pods production.